That is one nice mug, I'm telling you what. All right, I got reviews of Roses on Ice and Angel Share, the new liquors collection from by Kilian coming up. Hey Fragrance family, I'm David and I'm a fragrance bro. Of course, your best source for everything fragrance related. Today I have reviews of by Kilian fragrances, 2 new ones, and I'm very, very excited about these. These are really hot right now, and I'm sure you already knew that. And these are the 2 newest ones from by Kilian. It's part of his liquors collection, and I'm gonna be talking about that today. This is Angel Share right here. Beautiful, beautiful bottle. So let's talk about everything I love and hate about these fragrances, mostly love. All right, these fragrances came out this year in 2020. What a crazy year this has been. And these are part of his liquors collection. Now, some people might not have put 2 and 2 together, but Kilian Hennessy is part of the Hennessy family who makes Hennessy cognac. So he has a lot of experience with cognac making and that type of thing in his family. And these fragrances here are kind of an ode, an homage to that. So Angel Share is supposed to be more about cognac, and Roses on Ice is supposed to be about gin and tonic. Now, of course, here are the bottles. They are beautiful bottles. I love these glasses. They look like little whiskey glasses. Fantastic. Some people have complained about the plastic caps. They are plastic, but I really like it here. They have a nice click, satisfying click, and they're snug. They don't wobble at all. These are great caps. I'm fine with plastic caps. And even if they were bad caps, I really don't care. I mean, it's the fragrance I'm more concerned about anyway. But one thing that I will talk about are these crappy boxes. This is a crappy box design, guys. Come on. Crappy box. You gotta go pick up that box now. All right, let me get to the boxes later because that's gonna be a longer rant probably. Let's go ahead and get to the fragrances. Angel Share is inspired by cognac, and there is a lot going on in this fragrance. It's a very kind of gourmand cognac type of fragrance that is really, really nice. The main notes in this are cognac, tonka bean, and oak wood. Fragrantica also lists a few other notes like cinnamon, vanilla, and sandalwood. Now the name is really interesting because Angel Share is a term that people use in distilling spirits. I recently read a couple of books on liquors and spirits. One of them was on cognac, and the Angel Share is a term that they use when they're casking a cognac or a liquor. Now, whenever you cask a liquor, you lose a part of the liquor to evaporation over time. So you lose some volume with that liquor. So the amount of the spirit that has been lost to evaporation is called the Angel Share. People didn't know exactly what that was whenever they were first casking this, centuries ago. So they just called it the Angel Share, like they're offering it to the angels or the gods. Now, if you like boozy scents, if you like sweet scents, if you like gourmands at all, you've got to try Angel Share. You definitely get that cognac right away. I would say you actually get the cognac through the whole life of the fragrance from beginning to end. You get the praline, the very sweet type of notes in there. You get kind of the woody character from it as well. If I were to compare this to a fragrance that maybe some people have tried, I would definitely say this is reminiscent of Ombre Narguilé by Hermès, the Hermescence line. But this is a lot boozier than that one. That one wasn't intended to be a boozy fragrance, but this one certainly has that boozy characteristic. I'd also say it's stronger, and it's also kind of a little bit thicker as well in the way that it comes across. You get more of the kind of concentrated sweet notes and woody notes in there. I think this is an excellent representation of cognac and that type of smell. The one thing that I do not like about this fragrance though is the dry down. The dry down, it has that cognac type of smell, but on me it smells really stale. So it smells almost chemically and stale in a bad way on me, unfortunately. Once it dries down, I lose kind of that sweet aspect and I just get the kind of alcohol-y type of things that are going on. So I wasn't a big fan of the dry down, but the opening is absolutely heavenly. Just a sweet, nice, rich, boozy gourmand scent that is just wonderful. I really like that a lot. I just wish the dry down was a little bit better on me. Now that's just a taste thing. I think some people, especially if you really like cognac or you like that kind of boozy thing, you may actually love this a lot more now because now you know that boozy quality is going all the way straight to the end of the fragrance. Also, one thing about this fragrance is they're talking about how they put actual cognac in here so you can get that nice caramel color. I think that's an interesting point to make because I don't necessarily think that that's true. And especially with cognac, they put a lot of caramel color in cognac to give it that kind of rich color to darken the color. You can add a certain amount legally of caramel color to cognac. I don't necessarily think there's actual cognac essence in here, maybe a tiny bit, maybe like a few drops, but not much. But this was excellent. I thought the performance was excellent as well. Pretty strong, not too strong. And it lasted a long time in the 10-hour range, maybe more. Yeah, it was just a really pleasant surprise. I really enjoyed this a lot. Now, I think that more people are going to like Angel Share, and that's where most of the hype is going to go with this line. However, I think that Roses on Ice is the better fragrance here. Now, this one is supposed to be reminiscent of a gin and tonic with lime on the rocks. This is more of a feminine fragrance, and this is inspired by Kilian Hennessy's wife, who likes gin on the rocks with lime. The main players in this are cucumber, juniper berries, which gives it the gin smell, and roses. I would definitely say that roses are really strong in this. If you don't like rose fragrances, you're not going to like this. And this does have more of a kind of feminine type of smell to me because of the roses. Also, the cucumbers are really interesting in this. They add kind of this cooling effect, as well as kind of lift the fragrance a little bit and add a fresh quality on top that is really nice. Goes really well with this. Everything is just so good. To me though, the actual star of this is how the gin, the juniper berries, kind of play with everything else. Juniper berry and even the smell of gin, to me, has kind of that kind of woody, dry quality that is almost a masculine type of smell. Now, when I say dry, there are two definitions of the word dry. There is dry as in the opposite of wet, and there's dry as in the opposite of sweet. And both of those qualities are here, which is really interesting. And gin has both of those type of qualities as well. You get kind of the dry, woody, almost spicy qualities of juniper. And you also get the dry, not sweet aspect. I love how the gin, the juniper berries, adds a kind of interesting kind of contrast to the floral and cucumber notes in this. A lot of times whenever you smell cucumber and rose together, to me, what that instantly reminds me of is maybe like a body spray at the mall or something for a lady. It has that kind of very feminine, almost young type of smell. This to me is not like that at all. It doesn't have that kind of young type of smell. It doesn't have that kind of cheap type of smell at all. Everything in here seems really high quality. The rose in this is beautiful. Even the cucumber smells really nice mixed in here. Now on paper, the cucumber actually kind of comes off almost like a salad, so you can't smell it on paper. You have to try it on your skin. It smells very different on skin, and this is one of those fragrances that you have to try on skin. Now as this one dries down, it loses the rose, it loses the cucumber, and a lot of that gin is still there. So like the Angel Share with that boozy quality staying the whole life of the fragrance, this one has that boozy quality through the whole life of the fragrance too. And in this case, that actually works a lot better, especially on me. It didn't smell stale like Angel Share did on me. This one smelled great the entire time, and this one was pretty strong too. It wasn't necessarily as strong as Angel Share. I feel like Angel Share was a lot stronger, but this one was still excellent at the nice end of average, about 8 hours on me, and I think that's really good for this type of fragrance. It would be easy to make just kind of a sweet rose type of fragrance with lime. But it's not that. It has a very dry, woody, almost spicy type of thing that interplays with the rose and lime in a really interesting way. I wore it and I was actually surprised at how much I liked it on me. This is not a fragrance that I would normally wear, but it was a really nice surprise to wear, and I would definitely like to smell this on a lady. I'd love to see how it smells on them and how they like it, but yeah, definitely check this one out. Roses on Ice, I think, to me, is my favorite of the line. They're just fantastic. All right, now, let's get this over with. The boxes. You know I hate bad boxes, all right? And these are bad boxes. What I mean by bad boxes is that you have the bulk of the box at the top and you have just a tiny little thing right here at the bottom, like a little pedestal. So every time you pick up the box, immediately what happens is this comes off, and these are really precarious. They're not deeply set in the pedestal. I know what kind of box this is. I know that I hate these boxes, but even knowing that, have picked these boxes up and have almost broken these bottles. That's why I hate these boxes so much. These are terrible boxes. Get rid of these boxes. That said, there is something also satisfying about the size of the boxes anyway. The size of the boxes really matches the size of the actual bottle, and sometimes that is rare. Sometimes you get a huge box for a tiny bottle, but this box It doesn't seem excessive. It's like the perfect amount for this type of bottle. Again, boxes and bottles don't really matter whenever you're wearing the fragrance, but as an experience, some people like that, and some people hate it. Some people hate boxes. Now, these bottles are 50 ml. They go for $195. Another interesting thing about these is that they're refillable. That's just a great point to have. I'm really glad by Kilian did that. So my final thoughts, I really like this line. Now, I do have some quibbles about the scents, of course. I don't necessarily know if I would wear roses on ice that much, just because of the rose, but I still think it's beautiful. I don't necessarily know if I would wear Angel Share because of the dry down with that kind of boozy cognac thing, but it's still beautiful as well. I think overall, though, I think this is a real hit for the line. These are definitely going to be some hot top sellers for by Kilian. I already know that from seeing some of the buzz and some of the reaction from the fragrance community. These are going to be great for them. And I think if they can continue with this liquors collection and maybe pull something off with even a different liquor or maybe a different take on a different cocktail or something, I think they're going to have a great line with this. Definitely check out the liquors collection from them. I think it is fantastic. So that is all I have for this review. What do you think? Have you tried the liquors collection? Which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know your thoughts about this line. Let me know. And of course, if you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe down below. I love you for it. And click that little bell so you get a notification every time I make an upload. I'll see you next time. I'm Dave with the Fragrance Bros. Bye.